Excuse me, good sir, but your hole in your suppressor does not look centered. Hey everyone, welcome back to the range. Silencer Shop Authority brings you the Advanced Armament Corporation, or AAC for short, Illusion 9. As its name implies, the Illusion is for 9mm and sub-calibers. It comes in at 7.9 inches with a diameter of 1 1/4 and a weight of 10.4 ounces. The exit hole, which you saw in the opening, is a very generous 432 thousandths, black anodized finish. Blast baffle and piston assembly are stainless steel. Tube and baffles are aluminum. Offers a sound reduction based on Silencer Shop's testing of 33 decibels. MSRP at the time of writing is $7.99. What makes the Illusion 9 neat is that it's an eccentric design, meaning that you'll note the off-center alignment of the internals. This is done so that the suppressor will sit lower on the gun and clear your standard height sights. The Silencer Co. Osprey 45 is set up in a similar fashion. We have a Beretta M9A3 here that will thread the Illusion 9 on here. As it differs from the Osprey 45, once you tighten that one down, if it's off center, there's a little cam lever and lock pin that would lock the orientation so you can change it. Kind of like on the Tyrant 9M that we reviewed prior, when you want to change the point of impact, you pull the suppressor forward and you can rotate the can around. You can do that on the Illusion 9 here with the spring for the ASAP system in place. So you just pull forward and you rotate the can around until you get the desired orientation, which typically is with the serial number and manufacturer writing on the 3 o'clock position with the gun. This M9A3 boasts standard sights to my knowledge, and as you can see from the video, or maybe you can't see very well, the sights maintain a good picture and the suppressor does not block their view. The ASAP, or I looked it up this time, Assured Semi-Automatic Performance System, is utilized on the Illusion 9. 1/2 inch by 28 and M13.5 by 1 left-hand thread pistons are available. A fixed barrel spacer is as well. These pistons are not compatible with the Tyrant 9 pistons. As far as changing out any of the pistons, use the included tool to remove the rear section here, set that aside, pull your spring out, and your piston, if it wants to come out there, you can swap back to the other one. And if, like I said, you had a fixed barrel spacer, you would insert that instead of the spring, put this back in, and tighten down. You can find no mention of whether or not this unit is full auto rated, but based on the construction and intended design, I would say that a good guess is no. I also couldn't find any information on being 5.7 rated either, but I would imagine it's beefy enough to handle either subsonic or lower performing 5.7 rounds. I will double check with AAC. I'll annotate if they tell me no. Our host today, we used the Beretta M9A3 and the Smith & Wesson M&P core. I had no issues with sight picture on the core because of the raised sights, and was very happy, like I mentioned earlier, with the sight picture I had on the M9A3. The threaded barrel on the Beretta is slightly longer than what you would typically find, so I had no issues with interfering with the guide rod when shooting it. I have a Glock 19 MOS, but I'm waiting on sourcing a barrel for it. We didn't use the Evo as we felt the purpose of this can was for use solely on pistols. Sonic 115, 147 grain, 165 repeating. Supersonic first. We had good suppression on all ammo used. Again, I don't have access to a microphone and sound meter yet, but that's forthcoming perhaps as a loaner in the future. I like doing the super and subsonic comparison All of the subsonic ammunition used in this test was 147 grain and 165 grain Hush from Freedom Munitions. I love their 165 grain. It's hard to pick up again on the camera, but it's quiet. As far as disassembly and assembly goes, we'll start removing the ASAP system in the back here with the included tool. AAC recommends nylon brushes and soft tools and solvents to clean the device. Remove the piston and the spring, set it to the side. Remove the end cap here. Set it aside. Here is the end chamber. Has an O-ring. Sure not to damage that. After replacement, they do put the part numbers for McMaster Carr in the manual. Now, originally, I couldn't get this thing apart. Talked to Jeremy at Silencer Shop. He suggested soaking it in some simple green for a while, and after doing that and using a BFH and a 5/8 dowel rod here, I was actually able to get the baffle stack out. You can take the 5/8 dowel rod and push the baffle stack assembly out, and that just leaves you with an empty tube. I do not believe that this rear cap comes off. As far as the baffles are concerned, this is the rearmost blast baffle, stainless. You can see it's kind of dirty. This is the one that goes in the rear. Then there are 6 standard baffles. They are keyed for assembly. You can see that this suppressor is quite dirty. I spent an hour cleaning it. You can tell my hands are pretty dirty even after washing them. And then you get to the end, and here's the end baffle. Just a short little guy there. As far as assembly goes, grab the blast baffle. I kind of look down the tube, line that U shape up with the bottom. Like I said, it doesn't have to be perfect, and just drop it in there. Grab a standard baffle, and you can kind of look, but like I said, just drop them in there. And you can kind of turn it and push on it to get the tabs to lock in. You just keep putting them in there. Like so, and eventually, see, that one wasn't in, and you can just kind of push it around a little bit. Make sure it's locked in. Take the last little end baffle here. That one you can see that where you want to get it there. Like I said, I'm just kind of turning it to make sure it's all the little keys are lined up. Take the end cap here. That's pretty good there. Oops. Take the end cap here. Thread that back on. I'll look through the can to make sure all the baffles line up there and are in the eccentric position. Put the spring back on your piston of choice. Slide your piston back in there. Slide the retaining nut on there. Thread it down. You can put some lube on that O-ring. And there you go. Now your Illusion 9 has been reassembled. Time to wrap this up. Positives about the Illusion 9? The eccentric design. I don't need taller sights to run this can and maintain good sight picture. Had good noise suppression. I didn't notice much of a first round pop either. can be shot wet as well. It didn't seem to loosen up on the gun after firing. I did get a little more tightening out of the end cap here after I heated the suppressor up with a couple mag dumps. The hottest that I did get the suppressor after a quick 17 round mag dump was right around 150 degrees with some of the 147 grain subsonic. It's very appropriately priced depending on where you buy it from. I always include the silencer shop links in the description below. Any negatives about this can? Since the Illusion 9 is eccentric, the baffles must go together in a certain order. Definitely another case of very carefully read the instructions before taking this apart or putting it back together, and I would probably avoid taking it apart at the range unless necessary. But considering that I can take it apart and actually clean it means that I'm going to get more life out of it. Also, I'm not sure if this rear cap is designed to come off, but on my sample it moves back and forth about 1/8 of an inch here. You can hear it moving back. I'm not sure if it's supposed to do that or not, but with the blast baffle in there, I'm sure it's not going to go very far. Thanks again to Silencer Shop Authority for providing us with the AAC Illusion 9 to demo, and for you all for your likes and comments and subs. Until next time, catch you at the range.